It's time for another tutorial for pie plate patterns, and we're going to talk today again about half square triangles and some fun things you can do with half square triangles. I have taken just some strips of fabric, and these are just things that normally you would just throw away when you get finished cutting, and so I've kept them because I keep everything, but I'm going to make a couple of really fun half square triangles out of these strips. This is the piece I'm using with it, and I drew a line on the back from corner to corner, just like in a half square triangle. These are 7 cut, so my finished half square triangle will be 6 inches. Okay, now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can lay this down so that the seam, the line here, goes parallel to the seams, and you can do it in the middle of a piece so that when I sew on both sides of the line, I get this red piece on both of them. Or you can do it on the seam and then sew on either side. The thing about sewing on the seam, that works really well, but if the seam is pressed to the red on this one, so after I sew onto the blue side, then I'm going to just flip the seam and stitch without getting the seam in the next seam. Then when I get done with that, then I'm going to cut the back part, and then I will have 2 half square triangles. I'm going to show you in a minute when that's all finished. But there's another way you can do this too. You can lay it out so that the line is going the other way. So your straight edges are parallel to the seams and to the straight edges. Then I would sew on both sides, and then that would give you a completely different look. I have a couple that are already sewn, and I'm going to cut them out and show you. And you can use your rotary cutter, or you can just use your scissors, because this is just a rough cut because you're going to trim this when you're finished anyway, because it's a little bit bigger than it needs to be, just like we taught you on your half square triangles. And if you don't want to even cut that side off, you don't have to, because you're going to trim it like I said. This is the second one I showed you. And when I press them open, we'll have 2 half square triangles. And when you put them together, it really makes a cute square. Then on this one, I'm going to cut these again. Cut this one out. And then cut on the line. And after I get this to this point, I would press it and then trim it to my 6.5 inches. But for right now, we'll just show you this. And there's a couple ways you can put these together. You can put 4 together like that, so you have the whites in the corners and then the strips like that. Or you can just do them like this, so they're all going the same direction. Either way is really cute, and they turn out really fun with the different size of strips, the different widths of strips. Now if you don't have big long strips, there's also another way you can do it. And just take your longer strips, sew them in the middle, and then sew your shorter pieces as you go out, just centering them a little bit. And then I would just lay this here, right there on that seam probably, because that's the widest spot. And then I would sew it, and then I would get 2 more that look just like this. It's really a fun way to make a half square triangle and to use up your strips. So I hope that you try it and maybe make a quilt. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.